Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter. I really need to do this. It's been far too long. I've been thinking about it for far too long. And my preferences have changed on eyeshadow palettes and what I want to reach for, what I want to play with. So we're going to do this. I'm going to try to be as honest with myself as possible and whether the palette is going to be you know, good in my life, if it's something I would reach for or not. So I'm going to try to be as brutal or as honest with myself as I possibly can. If you like eyeshadow palette collection videos and declutters, please keep on watching. And if you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. And now let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to give my disclaimer first that all of these eyeshadow palettes I either purchased with my own money or they were gifted to me. So I'm keeping that in mind. So if you don't see me saying like, oh, I'm going to get rid of 70% of my palettes, there's a reason. Like, okay, I want to make sure that yes, these are no longer working for me, or maybe I need to try them, or you know, give them a little bit more love, just kind of like get my money's worth, as simply put. um I might do swatches here and there. I don't know if we do swatches of everything, we're going to be here for forever, so I'm not promising swatches of everything, but I'll try my best. We're starting alphabetically, so we're starting with the letter A. From the letter A, I have Ace Beauté, I've got Adapt Cosmetics, and ABH. We'll start with Ace Beauté. This is the Violet Sage eyeshadow palette. I every time I open this, I just think that this is a gorgeous palette. I think this is so pretty. But to be honest, I don't think that this is something I will wear. I don't know that I've ever used it on my eyes. I've owned it for a few years now. I've swatched it multiple times, and every time I swatch it, I'm like, it's so pretty. I'm keeping it. But I haven't been using it. So there's no point of keeping it. This is one that I'm gonna go ahead and pass on. Oh, and if I didn't say earlier, some of the palettes, if my friends and family are interested in, I'll probably pass those on. If they're really expired, gonna go to the trash. And then some stuff I'll probably post on Poshmark. My palettes are very clean. Very few of them are really used, so they're very lightly used. So I'll have my Poshmarks listed in the description box. If you're interested, go ahead and check it out. Also, in the letter A, we've got Adept Cosmetics, and this is the Plain Jane eyeshadow palette. This is so pretty. It was gifted to me, and this is one that I really would like to keep, and I would like to reach for a little bit more. It's a really beautiful companion palette, so highly enjoy it. I would recommend that one too if you're eyeing it. So this one we're keeping. I have a lot of ABH. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ABH palettes. I like the formula. I like the color stories for the most part. So starting off with the Modern Renaissance, this is not my original Modern Renaissance. This is one that I purchased not that long ago. I say not that long ago. It's probably been 2 years. I got rid of the original one, and to be honest, this is something I would like to keep in my collection. I really enjoy it. I really like the color story. I find the formula really pretty, and I would like to play with it some more. So this is gonna stay. Next from ABH is we have the Subculture palette. This is definitely or was a controversial palette. I really liked it. I did really enjoy the grungy shades. Wore that quite a bit. Um, when I was a little bit younger. Now I feel like okay, this is not suiting me very well. I It's sentimental in a way, but I think it's time. I think it's time to let it go. It's gotta get going. Say bye bye. All right, more ABH. We've got the Prism palette. Ooh, this was one that I loved as well. I had some favorite shades in here, one of them being Osiris and Throne. If I was one to depot shades, I would probably depot those shades, but I know myself. I don't use shades I depot. I end up losing interest. And this is another palette that I think I'm gonna go ahead and let her go. It's been a few years. It's been a long time actually. I think my son was freshly like a newborn when I picked this baby up, and he's gonna be 8 soon. It's time to let her go. Alrighty, we've got the Soft Glam, original Soft Glam, not the Soft Glam 2, and I love this one. Is it Soft Glam that she re-released, or is it the Sultry? Maybe Soft Glam. Anyway, I love this palette. You can see I've got some dips in here. This was a perfect travel palette, ideal for work. I can go light-handed, or if I'm going out in the evening, I can reach deepen up the shades a little bit. I'm definitely gonna hold on to this one. It's well loved, and I really, really like it. Next up, we've got the Sultry. This is another one that I really enjoy. I know, like when it released, everybody was like, "Oh, a cool tone palette," but I feel like this leans a little bit more neutral. I don't find it very cool tone. Sure, there's a couple shades that are on the cooler tone, but for the majority of the palette, it's pretty neutral. I do really enjoy this one. It's one that I also love. I find the formula is really nice to work with. The colors are great. Love the packaging. This is one that I'm definitely keeping. Moving along, we've got the Norvina. Ooh, this is so pretty. I love the purples and pinks in here. This is a gorgeous palette, you guys. I really, really, it makes me happy. I look at it and I'm like, oh, these are beautiful shades, very romantic, very springy. Again, you've got some deeper shades like that vamp it up a little bit for like a date night or something like that. I love it. I don't think I'm ready to part with this one. So she's staying. All right, moving on. ABH Jackie Aina. Such a beautiful palette, but I feel like um feel like maybe this is something that it's gonna go in my maybe pile. I am really considering letting go of this one. I just feel like I never wear shades like this. Like I'm not gonna use these, I don't think. I really like some of these shimmers in here, and that would be the reason why I would want to keep it. Like this one, Zam sponsored Lituation. Oh, these are so pretty. Like these are beautiful shades. So that kind of like makes me think like, oh, do I really want to get rid of it? I think I'm gonna put it on the maybe pile for now, and then we'll revisit it a little bit later. All right, we've got Carly Bible. This was a very quick collab right after the Jackie Aina. And the same sort of situation, I have some shimmers in here that I absolutely love. Like OA is beautiful, Aura is stunning, Mandela is really, really pretty. The formula of the mattes is really nice. I have no issues with it. I think this is one that I am going to hold on to. I hate the packaging. I hate those pink thingies up here. I feel like they're it's just I don't like the packaging of it, but the shades in here and the colors I do enjoy. Still, we've got the modern, no, sorry, rose metals. This is ABH rose metals. Um, oh, it's been so long since I reached for this one. I think this is something I would like to play with a little bit more. I definitely like these types of tones. Like look at that, the Nova. Like the formula of this palette too. I feel like it's newer, so it's very creamy still. Still, what about Haze? Haze looks very pretty. Yeah, see, these are shades I would reach for like come winter time, fall, winter time. I do enjoy it. And I'd like to play with it a little bit more. I haven't loved it as much as I've loved the other ones from ABH. All right, we've got two more from ABH. This is the Fall Romance. I have not used this one yet. It was gifted to me by my friend Mariella, and I haven't used it. It just kind of like time flew, and all of a sudden we're no longer in fall, and then winter's gone, and then spring is gone, and now we're in summer, and I'm like, I'm keeping this one because I think that this is, I definitely want to play with it. I really would like to enjoy it. And it was gifted to me. So, I should love it. So I'm going to hold on to this one for sure. And then lastly from ABH is the Primrose eyeshadow palette. And it's got two blushes in here. From what I remember, yeah, I was gonna say it's very warm tone, heavy. The shades in here are really pretty, but I feel like same thing with the ABH. I feel like this is one that, like the Jackie Aina, I feel like this is one that maybe I'm no longer interested in. Ooh, it does feel really nice and creamy though, so gotta give it that. Let's try the mattes in this one are really dry, really, really dry. Hmm. Let's see. I think I'm leaning towards letting go of this one, you guys. The two blushes in here, I do like the shade Grapefruit. The shade Saddle is a little too much for me. It's not it's not a blush I would wear, you know, and it's not. It's too orangey to be a bronzer. I'm gonna put it in the. I think I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile for now. I have not been wearing shades like this on my eyes. I feel like they're too warm tone. I do really like those pinks in here. And again, if I was one to deep pot shades, I would probably deep pot those. But I don't. I know myself. Yeah, I think I would just rather pass this on to somebody who would use it a little bit more than I would and enjoy it a little bit more. So I think this one is definitely gonna go. For Jackie Aina, she's gonna stay in the maybe pile for now. Alrighty, so we got rid of four from letter A, and we kept how many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and a maybe. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna keep the maybe over here, and I'm gonna move these over to the side. All right. Next, we've got the letter B, which I really have nothing in the letter B, so we're skipping B. We're moving to the letter C. I've got ColourPop, Charlotte Tilbury, and Cleona. Alphabetically, Charlotte Tilbury would be next. And I think I'm keeping all four of Charlotte Tilbury palettes. I do really enjoy them. I really enjoy those quads, the little ones. This is Celestial Pearl. This is such a beautiful palette. It was a limited edition for holidays a few years back. Really, really pretty, very subtle, sophisticated eyeshadow look. I'm holding on to this one. This is the Exaggerize. I want to say this came in a advent calendar. I want to say the Cult Beauty advent calendar, not last year, but the year before. And again, this is one that I could just easily throw in my travel bag. It would be easy for me to create looks for the morning before work. No issues. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one. And then we've got the Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. This was gifted to me by my husband. And not that I'm going to keep it just for that. I'm going to keep it because I really like it. I like the formula in here. I like the colors. You got four different trios. The day one is beautiful. The date one, beautiful. Dream, beautiful. Dusk is an okay one. I feel like it leans too kind of orangey on me. But overall, I really like this palette. And I would like to keep it. All right, we've got the latest one from Charlotte Tilbury to my collection. This is the Beautyverse palette. I ordered the mystery box not that long ago, maybe a week or two ago, and this came in that mystery box. And I'm happy with it. I want to say this was she released it last holiday season, and I was interested for sure, especially because of the shimmer shades. I swatched them at Sephora and really enjoyed them. I remember the mattes being kind of creamy. So this is one that I do want to hold on to. Again, it's new. I haven't used it on my eyes. It's beautiful. Look at that packaging. It's stunning. So this one is staying as well. So that's it for Charlotte Tilbury. These four are staying. From Cleona, I've got just one palette, and this was gifted to me. Some of them were from my friend Valerie, and some of them are, you know, I can't remember who gifted me these three up here, but the bottom two rows are from my friend Valerie. I know that these are from the stained glass collection. I'm not sure which collection these are. And this is something I'm definitely keeping. I love these shades, kind of like the Adapt. I think I prefer this one over the Adapt palette just because the powders in here are a lot easier to work with. I don't need like a stiff brush or, you know, something like that. Very creamy. I can use my fingers or I can use a packing brush, and perfect. Beautiful shades. This one is staying for sure. She's not going anywhere. And then lastly, for C, we've got ColourPop. From ColourPop, I've got a couple. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. To be honest, I think most of these are going to go. The first one is The Secret Life of Scorpio. It's really pretty. It's a beautiful quad. I really like the shades in here. It's beautiful, but I have these in other palettes. Like I have these in, let's see, what other shade, what other palettes. I'm not really sure what what other palettes I have these in, but I feel like these colors are in my collection. Although I really like the formula of this quad. Like I really like the formula of this. I feel like they did a good job with this one. I haven't tried any of the other horoscope shades from like these quads, but do I want to keep it? My first gut instinct was that I was gonna get rid of it, but it's cute and little. I think I'm gonna put it on the maybe file for now. Hocus Pocus Witching Hour. I'm gonna let go of this one. I wasn't that impressed with the formula of this, and it's just, I don't know. I definitely was sucked into the hype and that it was a limited edition and that's, going crazy and all of that. I'm really going to let go of this one. It's not, I don't like the formula as much as I thought I would. And the color story is, I don't use grungies anymore, I feel like it's very grungy. We've got Star Wars Mandalorian. This is so cute. This is the child one. I think that this is adorable, but it's one that I'm gonna also let go of. I don't wear shades like this. I feel like the majority of this palette I'm not gonna end up reaching for. So I'm gonna let this one go. We've got ColourPop Raw Beauty Christie at Forest Sight. This reminds me a lot of the Subculture palette. I feel like the color story in here was very similar to the Subculture palette. And to be honest, I am going to go ahead and let this one go. It's been years since I've reached for it. I know I'm not going to wear shades like this. I no longer am interested in super yellow gold shades like this. I feel like quite a bit of the warmer tone stuff in here that I know I'm not going to really use. And yeah, this one is going to go. I'm trying to be honest with myself, you guys. We're good for now, but wait until we get to Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona. I'll be like, staying, 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 staying. We've got X's and O's from ColourPop, and I think another one. I think I'm gonna let it go. I think this is one that I'm definitely gonna go ahead and let it go. I don't remember last time I reached for it. Yeah, she's going. Flush Like Me. I love the packaging of this one. I like that it's, sturdy, it's heavy, it's hefty. Um, looks really pretty, doesn't it? But see, but that's the problem. I look at them, they're like so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I need to keep it. Let me see. So, yeah, the shimmers in here are really pretty. They're on the subtle side. I don't remember what the mats were like. Hmm. I think I might hold on to this one actually. I think this might be one that I wouldn't mind playing with again. It's got the cooler or the less grungy shades. It got the deep shades in here. I do like the neutrally kind of part, a little bit leaning cool with some of these shades. I do like that. I think I'm gonna hold on to this. I thought I was gonna declutter it when I first opened it, but I think this would be one that, hey, I wouldn't mind playing with a little bit more. All right, and then lastly from ColourPop is the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters. This is the first one, the first release, and I like it. This is one that I do really like. Um, I do enjoy this one. I think I do at least. Let's see. I kept that Fall Romance, which I feel like kind of Has some of these shades over here. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one for just a little bit longer. After this fall season, I'll see. I need to reevaluate and see what I think about some of those palettes. But for now, I think this one is gonna stay as well. So probably not gonna keep saying like, oh, from A, B, or C, I decluttered this many. We're just gonna roll with stuff. We're just gonna keep going. And then we'll look back at what we decluttered at the end of the video, and then we'll look at the maybe pile. All right, moving on. For D, we've got Danessa Myrex, Dose of Colors, and Dominique Cosmetics. Going alphabetically, Danessa Myrex would be next. I'm keeping all three Danessa Myrex, just heads up. We've got the Lightworks Volume 3, the Experience palette. I love the packaging of this one. I love like the snake skin kind of thing. I really enjoyed the packaging, and the colors in here are absolutely stunning. There's one cream shade, and then the rest are powders. They're so pretty. These are some of the most beautiful multi-chromes. Let's do this one, Galaxy, for example. So purple leaning blue. It is so gorgeous, like so pretty. Yeah, she's staying. No question about it. She's staying. Let's see if I remember what she said. I want to say just the one cream. I can't remember what the formula of this one was, the strawberry moon, but it's a little bit different than the other creams, the powders over here. And like you can see, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a topper shade kind of thing. But everything else is beautiful in here. All right, we've got the Groundwork Defining Neutrals. This is so pretty, you guys. Such a solid palette. I love it. I love that you've got the creams and then you've got the powders with it. Although I feel like maybe the powders needed to be a little bit bigger. They're a little bit too small, but it's all right. For using it as eyeshadow palette, it's fine. But if I were to use like some of these for bronzing or anything like that, my brush is not going to fit in there. Maybe with the creams I'll be okay, but not the powders. This one is not going anywhere. It smells amazing too. It smells really good. I really enjoy it. I'm keeping it for sure. Alrighty, next for Danessa Myrex, we have the Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette. I got this one in Beautylish box, and I was so happy. I freaking love this thing. This is the kind of color that I can wear, which would be like a topper shade. So I really, really like this one. It's got the multi-chromes. Some of these shades are so beautiful. I just gotta swatch a couple for you. I gotta show you. Oh, these are so pretty, you guys. I really, really happy when I was so happy when I got this palette. And yeah, it's something I'm definitely holding on to. So she's staying. Alrighty, moving along for D, we've got Dominique Cosmetics. That goes before Dose of Colors. From Dominique Cosmetics. It's one of those things where I'm like, I haven't been using them. I really like the Essentials palette. I feel like this is a perfect neutral palette. And that's kind of like the thing. I want to be able to reach for this. I don't want to feel guilty for ignoring some of the other palettes. So this is one I'm definitely keeping. The original one from Dominique Cosmetics, the Latte palette. Oh my goodness. I feel like I want to hold on to this one for this one shade in particular. It was absolute favorite shade in this palette. It was one of my favorite like shades in my entire collection. It's like this beautiful taupey shade. It's so pretty, looks stunning on the eyes. I'm considering keeping this palette mainly for this shade. uh I do like it. mm, it's older. It's definitely older. Like I remember when I purchased this one forever ago. I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to it. I really enjoy it, and I would like to play with it some more. It's time. It's time to start playing with those palettes. Another Dominique Cosmetics, and this is the Berries and Cream palette. I decluttered this one previously, and then I was like, no, I really like it. I really like the shimmers in here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. Since I brought it back, I haven't reached for it. Like I decluttered it, then a little bit later, I was like, oh no, I want to keep it, but then I didn't use it. It's time to let it go. Okay, next up for the D's, we've got Dose of Colors. It's a new day, new more palettes. With Dose of Colors, I have quite a few. I've got the Blushing Berries. I've got the Cutting Edge, the Smoky Soiree. Those were the Blushing Berries that I have is the original Blushing Berries one, and then they repackaged. So I still have this shiny packaging. You know, I had this one for a while, and then I was like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna be for me. I thought maybe I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. So I decluttered it, but then a little bit later, I'm like, I really like those berry tones, and then I pulled it back in. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I think it might be one that I declutter. I do want to open the other Dose of Colors palettes. Let's move on to this one because this was one that I really, really loved. And I mainly loved it for the blush in here. But I feel like this blush, I mean, it's definitely getting older. Definitely have some hard pan on here. I'm going to go ahead and let it go. As much as I love this one, this was the Mickey Mini collab and it came with the stickers. So I just like stuck those on here, but I think this is one that I am going to go ahead and let it go. It's definitely older. It's an older palette and I'm going to let it go. I kind of feel the same way about the berries. Like I wanted to look at that one because it has those kind of like the pink shade in here. But the berries is just different. Let me go ahead. This is one of my favorite shades in the berries palette and I feel like I think maybe these shades I have in other palettes. I'm pretty sure that I have these shades in other palettes, but this one is just, it has a special heart, a special place in my heart. I can't find my words today. This black is a real intense black. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna put it to the side. So that'll be like the third palette to the side, and then this one is definitely a declutter. Okay, let's move on to the other Dose of Colors palettes. Wow, I swatched, now I stain my hands. We've got the Smoky Soiree. This one, I have these shades in here. Let me show you. I really like this one too. So it's got the little bit of the what like the neutral browns and like neutrals. That's what I'm trying to say. See? So like we've got the neutral kind of berry shade, the brown, we've got the black, and what I really like in here are those two shimmers. So let's go ahead and swatch these. I don't know why I'm swatching everything today. I feel like with Dose of Colors, I mean, I haven't purchased from them in so long, but see, they don't feel the same. Um, it's pretty, but do I want to keep the palette just for these two shades? I think this is one that I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Wow, look at me making some real decisions today. Another one of those 5 pans is the Cutting Edge palette. This is definitely on the grungy side, and I have other grungy palettes in my collection. Like I have the one from Melt Cosmetics, the Gemini palette. So keeping that in mind, really like this one. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. This shade over here, just stunning. I think I'm gonna hold on to this palette, at least for now until I look at my Melt Cosmetics one and I'll look at it. So I think this one is gonna be a keep. So I'm gonna move it to the side, to that side. And then we've got I Love Sarai palette, and we've got the collab, Desi and Katie collab. The I Love Sarai, I think I'm gonna let it go. I think I'm finally ready to let it go. Um, I don't know. It wasn't my absolute favorite palette from Dose of Colors. Like, yeah, it was not. It's pretty and all. It's got those beautiful shimmers. It's got like this black with the sparkle in it. I really like this blue, but realistically, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. Okay, and then for the Desi and Katie collab, this is really pretty, especially for the neutrals that are in here. You've got these pops, and I feel like this black kind of substitutes the black that was in the I Love Sarai. So let's see, swatch those two. Yeah, I think the Desi and Katie, I feel like this would be one that I would use quite a bit more than I would have used the I Love Sarai. So I think this one I am gonna go ahead and hold on to. I do really like it. I really like the packaging too. I think it's stunning. The formula is nice. So I'm gonna keep this one. So from those of colors, I'm definitely keeping these two. Um, can't figure out if I'm gonna leave my blushing berries, but we'll get back to it towards the end of the video. I'm gonna go through my maybes and see what I'm gonna keep and what I'm gonna get rid of. So keeping two, definitely decluttering these three, and then one maybe. Okay, let's move on to E. From E, I've got a couple, actually, a couple different brands. Let me pull them in. We've got Estate, Etude, we've got M Cosmetics, we've got Elf, Eloise, and Ensley Rain. We'll go ahead and start it alphabetically. Would be starting with the Elf. So let's do these ones first. These are very convenient. They're 4-pan. They're good quality. There's nothing wrong with them. I just when I want to travel, I don't think about the Elf Cosmetics little travel ones like these. I have some other ones that I really enjoy. So these end up being ignored in my collection. And I think they're good. So I wouldn't mind passing these on to some friends. I'm going to let go of these two. Next for in E would be Eloise. This is the Sahara Nights. I want to say this came in the Boxy Charm, and to be honest, this is a stunning shimmer palette. It's all shimmer. I do want to go ahead and swatch it because I have newer shimmers in my collection that I do really like. So I want to see if this is something that I am, interested in keeping and playing with and using as like a supplemental palette to other palettes. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's pretty, but I think it's one I'm gonna let go of. I don't need these shades. I'm pretty sure I have these shades in other complete palettes. The fact that's all shimmer, I mean, I'm okay with that, but it's not like special shimmers like my Cleona shades or the Glaminatrix shades. These are shimmers that are available in other normal palettes. So this is one that I am gonna go ahead and let it go. Not I think, I'm definitely gonna let it go. See if a friend would like it, or it end up being on my Poshmark. Okay, next up would be M Cosmetics. From M Cosmetics, I only have one eyeshadow palette, and this is the Faded Clementine. I wanted this thing so badly, and then I got it, and I was like, I'm not so sure about this one. It's super warm tone. Like this part is very warm tone, but the like these ones over here, the berry ones, are wow to die for. Like these are so pretty. So half of the palette I really, really enjoy. The other half I'm like, I don't know, it's too warm tone, it's too orangey, and I get it. I mean, it's Faded Clementine. It's called Faded Clementine. So I have not been interested in shades like this. But on the other hand, if I was ever gonna go somewhere and I need warm tone and cool tone kind of thing, like if I need berries and burnt oranges, I have them in the one palette, but the mattes are really creamy. They're really nice. I don't know. When I think about this palette, I'm like, oh, this is a declutter for sure. So I think I'm gonna stick to my guts and I'm gonna let it go. Next up, we've got Ensley Rain. I have two palettes from Ensley Rain, and these are not going anywhere. The Cold Moon palette, oh my goodness, this is so stunning. And this is like, I really need to make an effort and get rid of the stuff that doesn't work, because I have such beautiful palettes that I would love to play with and not have the guilt of like, oh my God, I have some so like ones that are ignored forever. Inslee Rain, Cold Moon, absolutely keeping this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch a couple of these special shades, so you can see like the difference why I got rid of that Sahara Nights and I'm keeping this one instead. So these are, see, this is what I want. I want special shades. I want multi-chrome. I want textural shades on my eyelids when I use shimmers. Sure, there's a place for the subtle shimmers or the like the satiny shades, but when I want to amp it up and reach for a palette that's all shimmers, I'm going for shades like this. So this one is staying. The other Inslee Rain Cosmetics is the Groovy Garden palette. This is a beautiful fall, kind of on the grungy side palette, but also not so grungy, like it can stay a little bit on like the subtle side. It's got some beautiful shimmers in here. This is not going anywhere either. Let's go ahead and do, how about we swatch Vintage Vibes? I just want to show you these shades. Like, my gosh, look at this. Oh, that's so pretty. That is gorgeous. You know, I think I'm gonna pull back since I have it right next to me, the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge palette, because I feel like maybe some of the shades in here can be in this one, maybe, but no, they're slightly different, definitely different shades. Like these are more like the Dose of Colors. This one is more of an army green. This is a black base, olive green. Yeah, I think both of them are going to stay for now. I'll revisit the Dose of Colors Cutting Edge when I get to the Melt Cosmetics. But Inslee Rain, Groovy Garden is staying for sure. I have two more in the E. I've got Estate, and this is the Hidden Garden palette. This was sent to me by my friend Sarah. I've used it a handful of times, like I sanitized it and used it. It's okay, it's nothing wrong with it, but also it's nothing that exciting. So I am going to go ahead and let this one go. And then the last eyeshadow palette I have for E is from Etude House, and this is the Play Color Eyes Rosé Wine. I picked this one up when I was in Japan, and honestly, I haven't used it on my eyes yet, so it's not going anywhere for right now. I would like to play with it. I would like to, see what it's like. I know the formula is a little more subtle than normal, like our eyeshadow palettes, because it's just what it is. The fact of the matter that different eyeshadow formulas and different eye looks are worn in different parts of the world. I am going to hold on to this one. I think it's really cute. I don't know how long I'll hold on to it. I think maybe if I try it once or twice, just play with it, I might be ready to let it go. I thought it was just adorable. And I got rid of my Urban Decay 3, the Naked 3, which was kind of rosy. Not that this is a dupe or anything like that's kind of far off. That's what I thought about when I saw this palette. It's so cute. I love wine. That would be my favorite drink. So this one I'm going to hold on to. Really would like to play with it before I make up my mind. So she's staying. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of doing well so far. Um, let's move on. Next, we'll have the F. So in F, I've got, let's see, we've got three. I have, or four palettes. I've got Fenty Beauty and I've got Flower Beauty. FE would be next. I've got FE Fenty Beauty, the eyeshadow palette number 4, which is, these are really cute. They're 6 pans. I have not used these. I haven't reached for them in many, many years. So the number 4 is this one, like the more rosy pinks, and then number 3 is the more warm tone ones. These can be detached, like that. So I don't have to keep both. They don't have to stay together, but I don't know. I think the berry one, like this one, I think I would really enjoy. I think I have a thing with berries. Like I'm having a hard time getting rid of berry palettes. Actually, I think if I'm gonna keep berries, it would be the Blushing Berries by Dose of Color. I don't think it'll be the Fenty. There's nothing wrong with the Fenty. The formula is okay. It's nothing to rave about or anything like that. I think I'm gonna let go of both of these Fenty Beauty palettes. They just, I think somebody else would really enjoy these more than me. So I'm getting rid of those two. And now for Flower Beauty, I'm keeping both of these. There's the Jungle Lights, and I recently ordered the Desert Lights from Ulta. It's just these colors just were like, oh, stunning. They really spoke to me. And the formula of these is fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch a couple of these shades. Just want to show you the formula of these shimmers. They're really, really pretty. Let's go ahead and let's do this one. This is from the Desert Lights. Do they have a name? Yeah. So this is the shade Horizon. Let's swatch. Oh my gosh, this formula is amazing. This is Red Rock. So Horizon and Red Rock. Look at this. I mean, Flower Beauty. Wow, way to go. From the Jungle Lights, this green is stunning. This purple is gorgeous. And this lilac. Oh, I gotta show you these. One, two, and three. So beautiful. I'm keeping both of these palettes for sure. All right, moving on to G. From G, I have four palettes. I've got, this is a Makeup Geek packaging, but it's Glaminatrix in here. Although these are singles, but I think this was collab like the Wild Creatures or something like that. So we've got, I can read the shades for you, and this is not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I love these shimmers. So we've got Kitten, we've got Panda. This is gotta be Fox. Fox, this beautiful shade. Let's say Lion. Bear. This gotta be the Lion. What's this one? Mink. And then Lion. These are not going anywhere. I really like these from Glaminatrix and I'm keeping them. The other Glaminatrix palette that I have is the Fury Lights palette, and this is not going anywhere either. It's got those beautiful shimmers. I purchased it when they restocked it, but now it's completely gone. I don't think they're going to be restocking it anymore. This is beautiful. Keeping this one as well. Next for G, we've got Glam Light. We have the Cherry Pie, or no, it's just called the Pie Palette. It's just so pretty, you guys. I've considered keeping it just because of the blush. I really like these shimmers in here. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. I do want to swatch. See, this blush just feels so nice and soft, but honestly, when I reach for an eyeshadow palette, I don't think like, oh, I'm reaching for this one because I really want this blush. So I have to keep that in mind. But these shades are so pretty. So that was Nutty Peach. This is Blueberry. This is Peach. And then Blackberry. Hmm. This is such a beautiful palette. Okay, I know I'm gonna get rid of the Glam Light Michaela. I honestly have never seen a single video by Michaela or shorts or whatever type of content she creates. I want to say she's what, TikTok. Um, this palette was gorgeous when it came out and it was pretty hyped up. So I'm like, oh, I need this one. The packaging is just stunning, but I don't use it. I am not one to wear colors. This is a lot of color. This is way too much color for me. It's going to be wasted in my collection. I think my friend Sarah would love this one. So I'm going to ask her if she wants it. But yeah, I'm letting go of this one. Now, I guess I'm putting this one to the side for now because I really like this one. This is one of the one Glam Lights. I've had so many of them. I had the pizza, I had the hamburger, I had the tacos, both tacos, and I had so many Glam Lights and I got rid of all of them because they're just too much color. But this is, I feel like this is color I can wear. The blush is beautiful. So She's gonna go on the side for now. So I have 4 palettes that are maybes on the side for now. So we're gonna get back to these towards the end of the video. All right, next up, alphabetically, we've got H. For H, I've got a couple by Huda, 4 by Huda, and 1 House Labs. To be honest, this House Lab palette kind of disappointed me. I swatched it in store and the swatches are stunning, but the application, this is like the best shade in this palette, this one pinky one, which is called Dusty Rose Chrome. I might keep the palette. I mean, it's a newer one, so I would like to play with it a little bit more, but this shade is beautiful. So I think I'm going to hold on to this. I want to play with it a little bit more. Now with the Huda palettes, I really like those. I really, really like these palettes. The only one that I'm not so sure if I'm going to hold on to is the Desert Dusk palette. Um, it's so pretty, but like you can tell I have not used this one. Like I have not, there's so many shades in here that I haven't used. I've used this one, and that's about it. So I can't just keep it just because it looks pretty. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. This is it's no longer fitting in my life. So this one I'm gonna let go of. Now we've got the Mercury retrograde. I did not think that I would enjoy this one. It was actually sent to me by my friend Valerie, and I was shocked at how much I really enjoy this palette. It's color, but it's subtle color, and I can make it work for me. Sure, I've never used the shade Haze, but that's about it. Like everything else is something I would use. So this one I'm keeping. Now we've got the Rose Quartz by Huda Beauty. This is another really beautiful palette. I'm going to keep this one as well. Look at these shades. They're so pretty. They're uh, on the cooler side, but they're not super ashy or like smoky. It's really pretty. I'm going to hold on to this one as well. And then we've got the Naughty Nudes. This one, oh, I think this was a gift from my son for Christmas. Well, him and my husband basically purchased it, but my son picked it out because we swatched it in stores and he really wanted me to have it. He really liked the shimmers in here. I'm gonna hold on to it. I need to play with it again. I kind of miss it. I haven't reached for it in a while. So this is one that I'm gonna hold on to. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. I don't have anything in I, but I do have in J, which is one of the Jane Ardell. This is the Pure Pressed eyeshadow palette, the Naturally Glam. So all of this palette is kind of satiny shades, really pretty. Again, this is something that I would travel with, one shadow look kind of thing. And yeah, I'm keeping this one. The formula is really, really nice too. So this one I am going to keep. I don't know why it's still in the packaging. Pull the packaging off and let it go. For K, in K, we've got a couple from Kaja, and then we have a palette that I've been hoarding for God knows how long, simply because of the packaging. Let's talk about the Kaja ones. I'm keeping all these bentos, by the way. I've got the Chocolate Dahlia, which is I mean, they're so beautiful. They're so convenient. They're so cute, so stackable. I really enjoy this one. I'm keeping the spiked ginger. And then I have two that I haven't played with yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm keeping them. This is all sparkly. This is the Sparkling Rosé. This is the number 4. I don't know if they reformulated or if they repackaged or what they did, but they kind of like went on sale heavily and then now they're back. So yeah, I've never used this one, but they're all shimmers as opposed to the other stacks, which have usually like at least one matte. This is all shimmer. And then the last one is the shade 19, which is the Forest Night. I'm going to get rid of the packaging for these as well. So here's, I'm keeping this one too. I have not played with it. Look at that shade. There we go. So 1, 2 shimmers and 1 matte, or with suspended sparkle, which probably will not show up. So these kajas, the 4 by kajas, are staying. I consider them as eyeshadow palettes, so they're staying. Now this one I've held on to for years and years and years and years, simply for this gorgeous packaging. Like this is stunning. I love the packaging of this one. The palette is really pretty to look at. Like this looks really gorgeous, but to be honest, I've hardly used it. I don't know if I can if I should be holding on to a palette just because of the beautiful packaging. This was when she was still called Kat Von D, and this is the 10-year anniversary. Yeah, 10-year anniversary. I want to say I got this one in maybe what 2010, 2012, maybe later. Now I'm having a hard time remembering when I purchased this one. Maybe 2018? I'm not really sure. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna hold on to it, put it on the side for now because I love the packaging of that one. And I was talking to my husband earlier today, and he's like, "You're ridiculous for wanting things because of the packaging." And I'm like, "Yes, I know, baby, I know." Let's go ahead and move on from. So we did J, we did K. Let's move on to L. All right, from L, we've got a few. We've got a Lancome, we've got a Lunasol, we've got a Lorac, we've got Lime Crime, Lunar Beauty, and LA Girl. Let's start with LA Girl alphabetically again. This is the Hey Hey Vacay, and there's nothing wrong with it other than I'm feel overwhelmed with the sheer amount of these shades in my other palettes. So this one, I'm definitely going to go ahead and let it go. Next would be this Lancome Louvre collab. This is very new to me. I just picked it up not that long ago, like a couple weeks ago. I've used it a couple times. It's got 4 eyeshadows and then 1 highlighter. This is not going anywhere. It's so pretty. It is gorgeous. It's that kind of like sophisticated, subtle eyeshadows. They look pretty, topping other shades. They're not extremely impactful, and that's why I kind of get the very sophisticated look. And this highlighter, ooh, this highlighter is so pretty. Very like glowing from within, not bam metallic highlighter. I'm definitely keeping this one, definitely keeping it in the packaging for now because it's still new and I'm loving it. Next up would be Lime Crime. This is the greatest hit bangers. To be honest, I think this is one that I am going to let go of. I'm not a big fan of the color story. Like when I reach for this palette, I'm like, what do I do? Where do I go? Which shades do I use? I don't find it very cohesive. I don't find it easy for me to create a look with it. Sure, it's got some of the most beautiful shades that they had in some of their other palettes. Like look at this pigeon shade. I'm a sucker for these like oil slick kind of looking shades. But how many oil slick looking shades do I need? Do I need to keep this entire palette just for that? That is a pretty shade. The shade Beam. Oh, I should not have swatched it, you guys. Now I'm like, ooh, I need that. But no, I don't. I'm never going to wear this mustard. Mud, probably never going to wear. Floor, I'm never going to wear. Gem, I not wear. So there's quite a bit in this palette that I will not wear. I think somebody else would enjoy this a lot more than I have been. It was gifted to me, and I'm very thankful. I really appreciate when my friends gift me stuff, but I part of me is like, I can't just keep something because somebody gifted to me if it's no longer suiting my needs and what I really enjoy. Next up would be Lorac. I had both. I had this one. I had the Noir and I had the Soleil. And when my friend visited me, I passed on the Soleil to her and I kept the Noir for me just because I feel like this is I'm not wearing as many warm tone eyeshadows as I used to, and I feel like this would fit my style a little bit more, my current style. It's the typical Lorac formula. It's super creamy. You know what you're getting. I'm gonna hold on to it. It's as boring as it looks, but I'm gonna hold on to it. And then we've got two more in the L series. We've got Luna Soul, and then we've got Lunar Beauty. I'm gonna keep the Lunar Beauty. This is the Nude Prism. See, again, there I go with the boring eyeshadow palettes. And this also was gifted to me by my friend. So, but I'm not keeping it just because it was gifted to me. I'm trying to get away from that mindset. I'm trying to keep just stuff that I really would be interested in playing with. And like, I want to tailor my collection. I have a lot. This one, I'm going to go ahead and decide to keep because I think that this is something I might enjoy. I would like to pull it out and play with it. And then the last L palette that I have is Luna Soul. This is the 01 palette. I picked this up at the duty free when I was traveling home from Japan. The first time that I went, I really enjoyed how subtle it looked. I really enjoyed how compact it is. It's tiny. It's great for traveling. This topper shade is really, really pretty. At least that's what they felt like when I swatched them at the airport. And now I'm like, I'm not really sure. I really am not sure about keeping this one. It's a little bit too subtle for me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go as well. The packaging is gorgeous. Like this is so pretty. Is this? Yeah, it's made in Japan. I was gonna say, is this Korean or Japan? No, it's made in Japan. It's so pretty, but I mean, subtle shades like that. I think I can let those go. All right, so next up we've got M, and the letter M. Those are by Muji. I'm calling these eyeshadow palettes because they can make a create look. I've got some Melt, got some MAC, Melt, 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 Melt. We've got Moira and Makeup Geek singles. We'll start with MAC alphabetically. This is what do they call this one? This is the Nude Model, the Art Library Nude Model palette. Um, a lot of neutral shades from MAC, some of their like kind of let's see, so we've got Shroom in here. I know that was a very popular shade. Was it Sandstone? And then they tell you like shimmer, frosty, matte, matte, frosty, frosty, matte, 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 frosty, matte, matte. So there's only one like shimmery shade, which is the Shroom Dome. I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. I don't know. I've never reached for it. I'm sure I like MAC Cosmetics, but I'm not the biggest fan of their eyeshadow palettes. I don't know why. I have single shadows from them that I do really enjoy, but shadow palette, I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Next, we've got Makeup Geek singles. I think I'm going to hold on to this one for now. I will need to do maybe like a singles declutter, but these are Makeup Geek singles. All of them are Makeup Geek. I think maybe like one or two only that are not Makeup Geek. I think they're all Makeup Geek in here. I think I put the other ones in the ones that were not from Makeup Geek in it. Yeah, these are all Makeup Geek. I'm going to hold on to this one for now because it's been a long time since I used those singles. Next, we've got Melt Cosmetics. I have a couple from Melt, and this is one I will need to revisit. That Dose of Colors one. We've got the original Gemini. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one unless like I see any mold or anything. I know a lot of people have issues with their Melt Cosmetics palettes. Thankfully, I haven't had anything yet or so far. So this one is gonna stay the Gemini, the first Gemini. We've got the Rust palette. I wanted the Rust stack so bad at some point. Never got it. So when they released it in a palette, I picked it up. And this is one I'm going to go ahead and hold on to. I really like the Melt Cosmetics formula. It's the days where I really want like an impactful, dark eyeshadow look. These are perfect. All right, moving along, the next palette from Melt Cosmetics we have is the Mary Jane.
I know this kind of got a little bit of heat or hate when it first came out. Um, the shimmers are a little bit different formula than other Melt Cosmetics. Like they're kind of flaky. Some of them, they just the way that they're pressed, maybe they're not as hard pressed as some other ones. So there's definitely fallout, lots of kickback, but it's a beautiful palette. It's a grungy, smoky palette, and I've enjoyed every single look I've created with this one. It's one that I'm definitely gonna hold on to still. I thought I was doing so good, you guys, with the declutters, and now I'm like, but again, I'm not decluttering just to declutter. I'm decluttering the stuff that no longer works well for me. We have 3 more from Melt. We've got the Bad Side Zodiac Air. This came in a mystery box from Melt Cosmetics. Sometime last year, they had one of those. It was like $40 or $50, and you get all these different things. This was one of them. I don't like this one. I really do not like this palette. I have not enjoyed the looks I've created with it. These look like colors I would really enjoy and they would look really good, but I did not like the formula of it. It was not the typical, I mean, look at that. What in the, like, what? So it's not, yeah, it's not, I didn't love it. It's not the one that I'm like, okay, I can't wait to play with it. The top row is very warm tone, and this one is actually gonna go. Okay. We've got She's in Parties by Melt. This wanted to be a purple palette, but it was not the purple palette that I would have enjoyed. This is another one that I'm gonna be passing on. I don't think it looks that nice on myself. I don't really enjoy it as much as I enjoy the other palettes by Melt Cosmetics. It just, I don't know, there's nothing about this one that I'm like, oh, this is so great. I feel like every look I create with this one ends up looking way too deep and just not enough definition. Yeah, hey, you can see me. Oh my goodness, I look so tired. It's been a very long work day. This is like my 3rd time sitting down to try and finish this video, so hopefully I can finish it now. Anyway, back to this one. I'm gonna let go of this. And then lastly from Melt, I have the Gemini 2. They had a great sale. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I picked up the duo, the Gemini 2, and the first Gemini palette, which I actually sent to my friend Sarah because I already have it. But both of them were for less than you would pay for one of the palettes. So I jumped on it. I haven't used it. I really am looking forward to using it. I think this is going to be a beautiful palette for the fall. I feel like all of Melt Cosmetics palettes, like the first Gemini, the stacked Mary Jane can be kind of New Year's-y a little bit. But this one definitely appropriate for fall. And I haven't used it yet, so I can't let go of it. I'm keeping it. And then lastly for M, we have Moira, All That Is You Sweet Series palette. It's bulky. It's not my favorite packaging, but the palette itself is gorgeous. They really have good formula. It's kind of like one of those palettes where every time I pull it out, I'm like, I want to check out Moira again. I want to order other palettes from them. Their mattes are fantastic, and then the shimmers are so beautiful. I'm saying that, but I am going to declutter this palette because a majority of this palette is shades that I would not wear on my eyes. Like I'm going to wear the neutrals, and I feel like I have a lot of neutrals in other palettes. These really pretty, and I think this probably one that one of my friends would really enjoy and would, you know, they wear color more than me. But for me, this is not it. It's a great formula. I have no complaints at all. It's just, if I'm keeping it only for the neutrals and the shimmers, that's kind of wasteful because I have lots of neutrals and shimmers in other palettes, if that makes any sense. So this one is gotta go bye-bye as well. And then the last two, and these are tiny, tiny little palettes from Muji. I did pick those up in Japan. I really like the simplicity of them. These are so easy. You can like purchase. They sold the big palette at Muji, so you can like put your eyeshadows, you can put your blushes, you can put whatever other product that you purchase. There's nothing wrong with them. They're cute. I mean, they work just fine, but I'm gonna let them go. They're so little. I really wanted to try them, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just they're tiny. So I'm gonna let go of these two. They get lost in the shuffle. It's not something that I end up reaching for when I go on travel, which is when I like to use my little palettes. And it's not something I reach for when I shop my stash for, bigger palettes. So we're letting go of these. So we did M. Next, we have N, which I have quite a bit in the N category. All right. Got Natasha Denona's. We've got NARS, Nabla. I have a lot. This is going to be a little bit difficult because these are palettes I actually do really enjoy. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get rid of much from here. We've got Natasha Denona Retro. This is like the tiny, what is it called? I don't know. It's the retro palette. It's a one of the itty bitty ones. I love this one. This is one that you can see, like, this is one that as soon as I know I'm traveling somewhere, this is my rosy tone, plums kind of thing. It's still a little bit easy for every day. It's very easy for every day. All I got to do is this all over the crease and this all over the lid, and I'm done. Maybe a little liner with this shade. So this one I'm definitely keeping. It's been one of my travel palettes and I do enjoy it. I have a couple more. That's the only one that's 3 pan. I want to say that came in like a Sephora favorites kit. The 5 pan, this is the mini gold, and I have the mini, why can't I think of the name? Retro. It's the mini retro. I do like both of these. Again, depending on what I'm packing for however many days I'm going. If I'm packing like neutral tones, or if I'm packing pinks for clothes or whatever, that's how I end up deciding which ones to take. I have been traveling usually with this tiny one, and then I'll take the gold one with me. But I do really like these. I think the formula is just fine. They're so cute. They're adorable. I like them. We've got the Love. Is this? No, Cupid. It's not Love. This is really, really nice. I do really enjoy this one. I feel like, but this is like, these are shades that I have in other palettes. So do I really need to keep it? Yeah, I have those shades over and over. How many of these did we already see? I like the compact size of this though. What do I want to do? I want to keep this one. I'm gonna move it over to the side. I'm thinking I might let that one go. Now we've got the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette.
My goodness, I just realized my microphone was dead. Hopefully. Filming those long videos, you guys, it's not easy. The Glam Face Palette. This is the light. I have the light and the dark. I passed the dark to a friend of mine because it suited her better. I really like this one. I like the fact that it has the blush and a highlighter. This blush is really nice once I was able to get through the top layer of it. It's like that cream to powder formula. It's really nice. The shades in here are pretty nice. There's not a whole lot of distinction between these shades, and I don't usually use them as she has them labeled. Like, this is transition, crease, outer corner. I'm not gonna use a, you know. Anyway, overall, this is one that I do enjoy, and I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to it. We've got Natasha Denona. I Need a Nude palette. Oh, this is pretty. This is a gorgeous palette. I love all the different shimmers, toppers, whatever. I love the mattes in here. This is one that I'm definitely going to hold on to. We've got the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I want to say this came in one of Beautylish boxes. Don't remember which one, but it came in a mystery box. This is another really pretty palette. It has the purplies or the berry tones that I do really enjoy. It's got some neutrals in here that I do really enjoy. I like it. I have no problems with it, and I do really enjoy it. So I'm gonna hold on to that too. We've got the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. Uh, I had I had the bronze. What was the pink one? At some point, I had one of the pink ones, and I did declutter that one. Um, the bronze palette. I feel like this might be one that I might actually let go of. Now, why is it easier for me to say, yeah, I'm gonna let go of this one, but it's not so easy for me to say, yeah, I'm gonna let go of this one? I don't know. But let's do a couple swatches. Maybe that will help me make up my mind. I see, I feel like it leans very gold, very gold tone. Like all of these are shades that I have not been enjoying or wearing. Um, yeah, I think I might have to let this one go. I might actually let it go. We've got the Natasha Denona, the retro. So we've got the mini retro, we've got the 3-pan retro, and then we have the full-on retro. I like it. This is not going anywhere. I do really enjoy this one, and it makes me happy. Every time I open it, I'm happy. Now we've got the Natasha Denona Gold palette. This is the first one she released, and I just said I have not been wearing those tones like the bronzy and golden, but with this palette, I love all the different mattes that are in here. I love the different formula of shimmers. So you've got like topper shades, so topper shades. You've got the actual shimmer shades. We have so they have different textures, and I do really enjoy that. They look different on the eye, and I enjoy this one. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one. All right, the Sunset palette. I did not use this one as much as I thought I was going to. Um, this was so hyped up when it came out, and so many other brands did dupes for it. I know I had a dupe from ColourPop for it, or inspired by it, kind of thing. I feel like this is one that I would like to play with a bit more. I know that some of these shades maybe I've swatched only. I know I definitely have not used this, not used this shade. So it has shades that I would enjoy, I think. Definitely not this yellow, but um, some of the other shades in here, yes, it's a little bit warmer tone, but I actually enjoy it. It's one that I enjoy playing with. I don't know why I started with Natasha Denona when NARS technically, or Nabla, or Nomad falls earlier alphabetically. But we're gonna ignore that fact, and then let's go to Nabla because yeah, I jumped from NAB definitely comes before NAT. From Nabla, we've got the Cutie palette. This is the Wild Berry. I've had one of these before. That was the oranges or something like that, tangerine, something like that. That was way too warm tone. I passed that on to a friend. But with this one, again, berries, they kind of get me. They always get me. I love this shade in here. Like, this is a beautiful topper shade. Really, really pretty. Now I say that, but now I'm trying to swatch it. I'm like, it's not showing up. That's really gorgeous. This one is really pretty shade as well. Um, I do like the palette. I like how compact it is. Hmm. Yeah, the formula of the mattes is really nice. I think I'm gonna hold on to it. And now we have the Nabla Dreamy 2, the Mystic palette. I loved this one when I first picked it up, but I have not used it since then. Oh yeah, opening this one and seeing these shades, I like it. This is not one that I'm gonna let go of. I love this shade over here, shade Offline. Oh, this is so pretty. This is a gorgeous, like burgundy, but still shiny shade. It feels a little bit like cream to powder. I do really like this palette. I do like this shade too. This is one that I'm going to hold on to as well. So I'm keeping both Nablas. All right, let's move on to Nomad. I only have one from Nomad, and this is the Haunted Europe. This was gifted to me by my friend Mariella, and I love it. I really do. It's one that it's kind of outside of my comfort zone, but in a good way. It's not bam bright colors, but it's colors that I would like to wear, colors that I do wear. I might not reach for both of these shades in one look, but that's fine. There's a whole lot of other varieties in here. I'm actually going to hold on to this one. I do like the Nomad formula as well. So this one, she's staying. Okay, that moves us straight to NARS. From NARS, we've got this little itty bitty Laguna eyeshadow palette. This was for the longest time my travel eyeshadow palette. And that's why I haven't been reaching for those little e.l.f. 4 pan ones. Um, I hit pan in this one shade over here. Can I even dip my finger in it now? I don't know. It's a beautiful shade. It's very pretty topper shade. I like this one. I like the fact that I can toss it in my makeup bag alongside this and I'm good to go. So I'm keeping that one. Um, Here we go. Now we have these ones by NARS. This is the, I want to try and think of the name. Is this the Climax? Yes, the Climax one. This is so pretty. I love the formula of this palette. I love the shimmers that are in here. I'm definitely going to keep this one. And then I want to say this came out next, which was the Pillow Talk. No, Orgasm Rising. Hey, Pillow Talk is Charlotte. Come on, Rania. It's Orgasm for NARS. Get it together. Get your brands right. It's pretty. It's a really pretty, very subtle palette. I like the pinks in here. I have no complaints about it. And this is the Endless Nights. I kind of want to see what they look like together, side by side. Okay, so this was this last holiday. I know because I got one for me and one for my friend. She was looking for pinks, and I got us this one. Um, See, I feel like with these, I wouldn't mind holding on to both palettes. Um, okay, let's see. What else do we have? This was much different, so I didn't open it next to it. We've got the NARS Narcissist, and this is the Wanted. I think they had two versions. They had Wanted and something else. Like, looking at these, kind of like all the pinks, kind of repeated shades, but this one has some other shades that I really do enjoy. Um, so pretty. Okay, they're this is when you start being like, oh my god, they all are looking the same. Now the formula in this one is a little bit different. This is the extreme effects, like this formula over here. This shade reminds me a lot of the Nabla shade, this one, but this is an actual black. It's not a burgundy, but it has that same formula. I always like a black in my eyeshadow palettes because sometimes I do want to deepen up looks, but looking at all of these together, I feel like um I feel like I could keep this or I could keep those two kind of thing, you know? I definitely want to keep this, the extreme effects. This one I'm keeping. Um let's see. I really like this shade in this one palette. Like this is my favorite shade in this one palette. Let me see these ones. This is going to help me decide. I hope. Mm, this shade. This is the one that I love. Kind of like keeping the house lab for that one pink shade. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. Let's see how this one compares to it. No, this is a lot more icy, more cooler tone. Um, Again, I don't want to declutter just for the sake of declutter. So I think for now I'm going to hold on to all three of these. Thought I was going to let go of at least one. Well, okay. It is what it is. Okay, let's move on. For O, I only have one palette and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna surprise you guys. It's color, but I'm keeping it. This is the Odin's Eye collab with Angelica. This is the Little Ghost palette. And this was sent to me by my friend Sarah. It's color, but I actually really enjoy this one. And I got rid of a lot of my colors. Like I technically did not leave much color. So I'm okay leaving this one. I love the shimmers in here. You know, the formula of Odin's Eye reminds me quite a bit of Glam Light, maybe a little bit better than the Glam Light formula, but their shimmers are very, very similar. I'm keeping this one. I know it's like way out there, way out of my comfort zone, but I need at least one way out of my comfort zone palette. Let's move on to P. For P, I have a ton. I've got a lot of Pat McGrath palettes, a lot of Pat McGrath palettes, you guys. This Pat McGrath comes before Pat Richter. Yes, Pat McGrath comes before Pat Richter and before Persona. So let's get started with Pat McGrath. Which ones I want to start with? I'm going to start with the smallest and then we'll work our way to Mothership. In here, excuse me, but I most likely will be keeping quite a few, if not all. All right, I'm going to start with, let's start with the 4-pan, then we'll move on to 5-pan, and then move on after that to 6 and 12. The 12 or 10 motherships. Let's start with this one first. This is the Futuristic Vixen. I stinking love this one. This was in the Venus in Fleur collab, whatever that line was. I stinking love this one. I do have a backup of this palette. Legit backup of this palette. It's not even open. This one shade over here, oh my goodness, all over the eyelid. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so pretty. This also was one of the palettes I traveled with quite a bit until I hit pan on this one. And then I was like, okay, I don't want it breaking. So I stopped traveling with it, but I do really love that palette. Now that's not the case for, I have other 4-pan palettes. Okay, this was, I think it's the same line. This is the Venus and Fleur. What is this one called? The Passion Fleur palette. You guys, I did not like this one. I thought the formula was kind of not the same, you know? I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoy the other one. Um, you know, like comparing this one to this guy, I love this one. I feel like the formula is so much better. She significantly reduced the pan sizes too. Um, but it is newer. I've only used it like 3 or 4 times. I want to say I got it from Ipsy. They had it on sale for, can't remember how much it was on sale for, but I want to say I got it from Ipsy through like their Mart. Do I want to keep it? Definitely keeping this one. This shade. So you can see the gorgeousness. Look how pretty that is. What am I going to do with this guy? I feel like maybe I need to show it a little bit more love before I decide to get rid of it. So I think I'm going to hold on to it for now. Now, we have this quad, which was the Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quad, and this is the Bronze Borealis. It's got to be around the holidays when she released the Celestial Odyssey. Wasn't it around the holidays or something? Um, Definitely more on the bronzy side. Again, I feel like she definitely, I know she changed the pen sizes. I mean, like you can see the difference. Smaller pans, but all right, we forgive her. 4.9. This is 4.4. So she reduced the pan sizes, but by 0.5, not a whole lot. Do I want to keep this one? I haven't. Oh, yeah, that feels so nice and creamy. See, they feel better than that one that I picked up from Ipsy. Like this feels really nice and creamy. Pretty palette. To be honest, I think I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this one as well. I know with the Pat McGrath stuff, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to keep or what am I not going to keep. Um, I like that they're so compact. I like the formula. Okay. Don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. It's kind of like I don't want to get rid of them because I really enjoy them. But on the other hand, I have so many other ones that am I actually going to miss it? I don't know. I might have to do a declutter after the declutter. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the 5 pan, which I have just one of the 5 pans, and this is the Eye Ecstasy Sublime palette. This is I don't like the packaging of this one. The formula is nice. They're okay shades, but I think this is one that I'm gonna let go of. I think I'm gonna put these to the side. I think I might let go of both of those. I'm not sure. I have my maybe pile is, gosh, huge. We've got more 5 pans. I have more of the Celestial. This is Celestial Nirvana, and this is the Bronze Bliss. Now, another thing is like I might have the same shades in other palettes, you know? She's notorious for doing this one, for doing that. The shimmers in these are so much nicer than the shimmers in the 4 pan ones. They're just so much more creamy. They're a lot more impactful. Yeah, they're nicer. I don't know I don't know why that is. Like, why is her formula sometimes so off? I did get these from TG Maxx, so I scored with that. This one I'm going to keep. The other Celestial Nirvana palette is the Nude Allure palette. And this one, look at that. Look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Yeah, I definitely am going to keep this one as well. Now I can, let's see, Lunar Legend, Sienna Rose, Mink Dusk, Cyber Bronze. No, they don't have the same names. Well, the names are hidden over here. I just want to compare. Do they have the same names? Like, I know she does that quite often. Like, she'll have the same shades in different palettes. So we've got, no, they're so different. Almost the same names, but not quite. What are the names in here? Yeah, no, they're not the same shades. Okay, we have 3 more 5 pans, and these are the Star Wars collab. So we have the, which one is this? This is the golden one. I hate the packaging of this. Like, I hate the outer packaging. I hate this part. They're impossible to store, but I'm keeping those palettes because they're stunning. The shades are beautiful. The formula is really nice. I do really like them. So I'm keeping this one for sure. I'm going to keep them all. No, I'm going to keep them all. This is the most colorful, but shimmers, so I can wear that. And then the last one is, come on, this was Divine Droid. And then the last one is Sith Seduction. And here she is. So pretty. Way better formula than the quads are. All right, I have a mini 6 pan one. This is tiny, absolutely tiny, and I do really like it. I do take it with me occasionally on some trips, and this was the mini eyeshadow palette Midnight Voyage. I'm gonna keep this one for sure. Okay, now let's move on to her 6 pans. I've got a couple of those. The first one is the Mothership Subversive La Vie en Rose. I'm keeping all of these, by the way. Look at that baby. She is so pretty. This ultraviolet kind of color. She calls it Purple Rain. Oh, that's stunning. We have the Metamorphosis. This is so pretty too. It's got all of the different metallic colors that you could think of. So you've got um, like the bronzy, the golden, the silver, really pretty palettes. I do really like it. I want to say this was a holiday one forever ago. We've got the Bronze Ambition. I do not think that I own the bronze, the big bronze one from her, um, like Mothership, like the full Mothership palettes. This one is really pretty. She is. Keeping this one, keeping them all. We've got the Bronze Temptation, and that's what that looks like. I don't even know. Does she still sell these? I'm not really sure, but they're really pretty. And they were the first, this one and this one. And I had one more, which sometimes I'm like, dang it, why did I declutter it? Which was the more cooler tone. These were my first 3 palettes from Pat McGrath. So just saying. They started the addiction. We have one more 6 pan, and that's the Diamond of the First Water eyeshadow palette, the collab with Bridgerton. And this was the first one. And I just love, 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 love this palette. I love the formula. This shade over here is so pretty. I really, really enjoy it. It's beautiful. I'm keeping this one for sure. All right, I grabbed all of my motherships. I have 10 of them. We'll start in order. So we'll start with the mothership one, and that is the subliminal. This is, I'm not gonna get rid of any of them. I'm just gonna open them. I'm gonna show you what they look like, but they're definitely all staying. So this is the subliminal. She's a cooler tone one. She's beautiful. She's stunning. Um, that's when she still had her special shades and they weren't repeating. So, or that's when she started the special shades, I should say. So that's the subliminal. The second one that I do own, I don't have the second one, believe it or not, which was the bronze one. I need to pick it up, you guys. I can't have an incomplete collection. The third one is the Mothership 3 Subversive. The La Vie en Rose is a very beautiful companion for this one. Um, you can see I've definitely loved this one, showed it a lot of love. I do really enjoy it. It's so pretty. So she's gonna stay. Next, we've got the Mothership 4, which I don't understand the packaging for this one compared to the other ones, but it's all right. It's not for me to understand, I guess. And this one is all shimmer shades. It's all shimmer. There are no mattes in here, which is fine. A lot of shades can be a one and done kind of eyeshadow look. Really pretty. They're very, very pretty on the eyes. This is a beautiful, like taupey kind of shade. So pretty. All of them. I do enjoy them. Look at this color. Tell me that's not gorgeous as a topper shade for, adding a little bit, a pop of color somewhere. So there's Mothership 4. I gotta get them in order. Next is the Mothership 5. This is probably my absolute favorite Mothership. For the longest time, this was the one that, oh my gosh, I could not get enough of it. I stinking love this thing. I have dips in the pans. As you can tell, I try to concentrate in like certain areas, concentrate my brushes in certain areas. These special shades in here are stunning, like absolutely stunning. Look at these. So pretty, so gorgeous. So that's the 5. We've got the Mothership 6. This is the Star Wars packaging. I had the original one. I gave it to my friend, passed it on to Sarah when I picked up the Star Wars packaging. I am a Star Wars fan, so I had to, you know? So here she is. She's so pretty. She calls it, what is this? The sun something? Midnight Sun. Okay, so that's number 6. Number 7 is the making sure that this is the 7. Yep, that's the 7. This is the Divine Rose. And this is where she started doing all of these rosy shades, all these pink shades, and then she could not stop herself. This is a neutral one of the Divine Rosy ones. This is actually appropriate for everyday, very easily appropriate for everyday looks. See, you could see some of these shades I've barely touched, but so pretty. Okay. The 8, the Mothership 8, is the Divine Rose 2. I love this one too. So pretty. I thought it might take over my love for the bronze, but no, the bronze, um, what does she call it? The Bronze Seduction is still my favorite. Look at that. Those beautiful pinks. Oh, gorgeous. We've got the 9, Mothership 9. This is the Utopian Dream. This is another really pretty one, you guys. So pretty. Yeah, I can definitely let go of those little 4-pan ones. I feel like I have those similar shades in here, and I prefer the formula in here over the 4-pan. We've got the Mothership 10, which is the Moonlit Seduction. I'm waiting for this year's Mothership. She hasn't released one this year yet. Hopefully it's not crap. So here she is. This shade. Oh, I keep swatching with dirty fingers, but you get the point. See that shift? So pretty. And then the last Mothership is the 11. This is the Sunlit Seduction. No, a lot of people were not so happy with this last one because it didn't have the special shades. It only had like normal shimmery shades. And I agree. We were missing some special shades on this one. But, you know, being a Pat McGrath fan, Mothership fan, I had to pick it up. Now I have holiday ones. We'll start with the first holiday one. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity. The majority of this one are shimmer shades, quite a bit of color, but I really like it. I think it's only matte, 1, 2, 3 mattes in this one, and then the rest is shimmers or toppers or some sort of foils. So that one she's staying. The Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey. So this is the same year where she released some other Celestial Odyssey palettes like this one. Okay, here she is. Ooh, this is pretty. This is so pretty. I feel like the formula in here is much better than the formula in here. Does it have any of the similar shades? Now I'm curious. Let's see. Let's compare. Lunar Legend. Do we have Lunar Legend here? No, we've got Lunar Haze. Do we have Sienna Rose? Nope. You have Mink Dusk or Cyber Bronze. Nope. Nope. What about in this one? Mm, hmm. I don't see any of the names, so it's all right. And then the last holiday one is the Mothership Bijou Brilliance Starstruck Splendor. She released two of these. I got them off her website for a really good discount. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I really am not the biggest fan of this palette. I don't know what about it. Um, I just felt like it was just not the same. Not her typical um quality kind of thing. So I want to swatch the shimmers. Yeah, I feel like this one, and I have a few of her blushes, so the blushes were not like what I really wanted from this palette. I really like the color story in here. The mattes feel so dry. They don't feel like her normal mattes, you know? So I don't know. I feel like this, even though it's kind of still new to me, I feel like this might be one that I'm gonna let go of. It's not my absolute favorite. Um, so I'm gonna let go of this one. All right, moving along in P, we've got Patrick Ta. I have the major dimension 1 and the major dimension 2. This is the first one, the more bronzy, and then the 2 was the one that's a little bit more rosy, pinky. Um, I like it. I think I'm ready to let it go. I know, I surprised myself with this one. I like the shimmers, I like the mattes, but they're not the best. Some of these shimmers are really hard to work with, like really hard to work with, you know? Like what's happening here? I don't know. I don't have any issues with mold or anything like that in my palette. I know some people have had that issue. I don't, but I think this is one I'm gonna let go. And then we've got the major dimension 2. Now this one I'm definitely going to hold on to. I feel like, come on, here we go. This is so pretty. And this was gifted to me too. I feel like the shimmers in this one are definitely better quality than the shimmers in the first major dimension. They are a lot easier to work with. They pick up so much easier. I have no issues with them. The colors are just stunning. Let's not look at me. I'm looking like crap today, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this one and I'm gonna declutter the first one. All right. Finally, for P, we've got Persona. I have the Identity one. I love this palette, you guys, but I think I'm ready to refresh it. I'm gonna hold on to it for now, but I'm ready to pick up a brand new one. They definitely changed the packaging on these. It's no longer the cardboard, and this is pretty old, like really old. That's when it was on the height of being the most beautiful neutral palette. And then we've got the Identity 2, which is not for me. I've come to realize that this is definitely not for me. It's pretty and all. It's got shimmers and all of that. It's when you open it, you look at it, you're like, "Oh, that's a beautiful palette," but it's not one that I personally gravitate towards. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. Let's move on to R. For R, I've got a couple palettes. I've got Rowan and I've got Romand. Let's start with the Rowan palettes. I have three of them. We've got Mood Forever, 75 degrees, and 52. 52 is the cooler tone. I want to get the 1111. I cannot wait for them to have a sale around Black Friday. 1111 is beautiful. Cooler, 75 is the warmer tone. So pretty. And then the Mood Forever is another really stunning one. I love these. These are not going anywhere. They're staying. And then now we have the Romand. These are, I want to say Korean. Yep, Korean brand. I picked them up while I was in Japan. These are not cheap. I want to say they were about the $20 each. And I'm keeping them. I'm gonna keep all of them, simply because they very reminiscent to the Urban Decay, like the Urban Decay Naked, Urban Decay Naked 3 kind of thing, um, and I really would like to keep them. I like the formula. I think the mattes are really pretty, very subtle, but they're very buildable. I love the shimmers in here. There's some glitters in here that are really pretty as well. This is the 01 Pampas Garden. We've got the 02 Mahogany Garden. It's this one, which is the more neutral. And then we've got this one, which is the rosy one. This is the Rosebud Garden. Really pretty. And then this one is the 001, which is the light and glitter palette. So all of this is glitter and shimmer shades. Looks childish, but hey, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm keeping all of these. All right, let's move on to S. For S, I've got a couple palettes. I've got a couple by Sigma, and I have a Sydney Grace, mainly Sydney Grace shadows in there. From Sigma, I'm gonna try to be, or I have, sorry, two Sigma and two Sydney Grace. Let's start with the Sigma Diana Saldana. This was gifted to me, and this is one where I'm like, I can't just keep it because it was gifted to me. I don't really gravitate towards this one. I don't really reach for it much. There's just something about it. It looks so pretty to look at, but it's not one that I enjoy using. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Now, the other Sigma palette is the Sigma Untamed. This one I am going to hold on to. I feel like this is going to be perfect for the fall time. The variety of shades in here, I feel like make a little bit more sense to me than the Diana Saldana one. So this one, I'm going to hold on to it. All right, we've got Sydney Grace collab with Temptalia, and this is On the Horizon. Here we go. She's pretty. She really is pretty. I need to play with it a little bit more. I think this is one that I'm gonna hold on to. I feel like this is a little bit different than my other palettes, or quite a bit different. It's not just neutrals and all that. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. And then this are Sydney Grace shades as well. I believe they're Sydney Grace because this is the Garden Collection or something. Yeah. So all of these are Sydney Grace. I've got, I want to say elf, really old elf shades in here. I want to say this is repressed. This was Dose of Colors shade, single shade that arrived like completely damaged, and I repressed it. I'm gonna hold on to this. I need to play more with it, and I feel like I'm not gonna reach for it unless I let go of some other stuff, kind of thing. So they're staying. For tea, I only have two palettes. I've got a Tom Ford quad. This is the Honeymoon quad. When I first picked this guy up, I was like, I don't know about this. I'm not so sure I like it. But now that I've played with it, and the more I use it, the more I enjoy it. I really like it. I like the color story. And the formula is very nice and subtle. It's beautiful. And then we have Tarte Man Eater. I was definitely influenced to pick up this one, and I was so disappointed. I think I ordered it from Ulta using my points. So like I could have took it back, but then they would give me a fraction of the points back. So I'm like, oh, forget it. We're keeping it. I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. I don't really enjoy the formula very much. Tarte has been not my favorite for eyeshadows. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. I feel like at this point I don't have much Tarte. Maybe I have one more of their Tarte, like the Shape Tape, but that's about it. I know I have a 6 pan face palette from them, but not much else. We're getting there. We're in the U. We're in Urban Decay and Uma. Uma and Urban Decay. Uma, Black Magic, and this is the, which one of them? The Poise. This is so pretty, but I'm gonna go ahead and let it go too. Again, they're the same shades that I have multiple times over, like all of these neutral tones. These are much deeper. But is Uma even still a brand? I'm not sure. I'm gonna let go of this one. We've got the Urban Decay Honey and then Urban Decay Wild West. At some point, I owned all of the nakeds from Urban Decay, and then slowly but surely got rid of all of them, and I'm gonna let go of both of these. Um, it's not this, I don't enjoy the formula anymore. The color story, I end up creating the same look with this one. I'm gonna let it go. And then the Wild West, I felt like this was my last chance, or my last time trying Urban Decay. And after I picked up this one, and it was kind of a bit of a disappointment. I didn't love it. I stopped purchasing these types of palettes from Urban Decay. Yeah, I'm gonna let go of both of these. All right. We've got V, W, and Z. Not a whole lot left. That's it. For V, we have a Visyard palette, and this is the Theory 2 Minx. I want to say this was like one of my very first high-end palettes. I do like it. I'm keeping it for sure. We've got the Visyard Fleurette Amour. This is like a face and eye and cheek palette. I want to say, yeah, this was in Beautylish. Honestly, I haven't used it yet, so I would like to play with it before I be like, oh, it's not for me. For W, we've got, oh, we have more V. We've got Violet Floss. This is the Sunkissed summer palette. I want to say my friend sent me this one. She passed it on to me, and I have not enjoyed it really. It wasn't something that I enjoyed. So this is one that I'm gonna let go of. For W, we've got Wayne Goss and Wander. I guess Wander is first. Um, oh, how funny. They're both called Trailblazer, but I'm pretty sure they have different color stories. Don't they? Oh, huh? How funny would it be if I have the same Wonder Beauty palette? So here's one. Oh my gosh, they are the same palettes, are they not? Oh my gosh. Oh my lord. What a nut job I am. Wow. What a crazy nut job I am. I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the used one, and I'm gonna keep the brand new one. Oh my. It's so funny because my friend was like, "Did I send it to you?" I'm like, "No, you didn't." Yeah, she did. So keeping one and letting go of one. And then the final two palettes, we've got Wayne Goss. This is the first one he released, the Luxury Eye Palette Imperial Topaz. I really like this one, and I'm going to hold on to it. I really enjoy the formula in here. I like it. This is a palette that it's solid palette. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to. And then the last one we have is the Zisa, which I picked this guy up. I want to say this is a Chinese brand, but yeah, it's made in China. I picked it up when I was in Japan, and this is the 02. This is so cute. I love kitties, obviously, and I bought it simply for the packaging. I bought it simply for the cat. I'm keeping it. I love it. Wow, you guys, this was nuts. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my maybe palettes and see if I'm keeping them or not. All right, here are my maybes. We've got this Natasha Denona Cupid palette. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. ColourPop, The Secret Life of Scorpio. Again, saw so many berries and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. We've got Dose of Colors, Blushing Berries. God, this guy, it just makes me happy. I'm gonna hold on to it. Jackie Aina and ABH. This is another one that's like, it's really pretty. I feel like I'm gonna be mad at myself for letting it go. So I'm gonna hold on to it. We've got the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary. I do not display my makeup, and I feel like this should be displayed for the beautifulness of this art. But hey, I'm gonna let it go. And then we have the Glam Light, the Pie palette. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go as well. It's pretty and the shades are beautiful, but I have so much that I'm like, it's too much. I'm gonna go ahead and count all of the palettes that I decluttered. Actually, maybe I'll pull them out and I'll show you all of the ones that I decluttered. I know I started with 157 palettes. I'm curious at how many I ended up decluttering. All right, I kind of tried to zoom out to show you the amount of palettes that I'm decluttering. Wow, I did not realize I got rid of so many. Let's go through them real quick. We got rid of the Wander Beauty Trailblazer. I cannot believe I have it twice. Now I feel bad. So, getting rid of one of these, the Violet Voss Sunkissed Summer, two by Urban Decay, the Wild West, and the Honey, the Uma Black Magic Poise, the Tarte Man Eater palette. So that's 6 so far. We've got the Diana Saldana by Sigma, 7. Persona Identity 2, 8. Anastasia Prism, Anastasia Subculture, 10. Ace Beauty Violet Sage, 11. We've got the Anastasia Primrose, number 12. We've got Dominique Cosmetics. This is the Berries and Cream. That's number 13. Got more, guys. We got more. Okay. We have these two by e.l.f. One is the Cream and Sugar, and one is the Truffles. So that makes it a 15. We've got two by Fenty, shade 3 and shade 4. 17, Luna Soul. This is the shade 01. 18, M Cosmetics, Faded Clementine. 19, The Secret Life of Scorpio by ColourPop is 20. We've got some other ColourPop palettes. We've got X's and O's at Foresight, Mandalorian the Child, and Hocus Pocus Witching Hours. So that makes it 19. From Dose of Colors, we've got I Love Sarai, Mickey and Minnie, and then Smoky Soiree. That makes it 22 palettes. We got rid of Eloise Sahara Nights, got rid of Natasha Denona Cupid palettes, got rid of Glam Light the Pie palette, the Pie palette. I lost count. Was I 25? I'm not sure. So now I'm 28. 29 would be the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary. Number 30 would be the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Number 31 would be the MAC, the Essential palette. Art Library, Nude Model. I lost count. We got rid of Lime Crime Greatest Hits Bangers. We got rid of Hidden Garden by Estate. We got rid of LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay, Glam Lime Michaela. We got rid of these two by Pat McGrath. We've got the Lux Quad, Bronze Borealis, and the Passion Fleur. We got rid of Patrick Tal Major Dimension 1. We got rid of Pat McGrath, Bijou, Bijou Brilliance Starstruck Splendor. A Pat McGrath, this is the Ecstasy Sublime. Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. Got these little two by Muji, got rid of. Got rid of Moira, All That Is You. And then Melt Cosmetics, got rid of She's in Parties and the Bad Side Zodiac. I'm going to recount so I can see how many that was. I got rid of a total of 48 palettes. That means I still have 109. I could totally let go of a few more. I think I'm going to give it a few months. I'm going to run through my palettes again, try to play with them, and then go from there, whether I'm going to keep all of them or declutter some more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it felt like it was all over the place. I had to film it on 3 different days, 3 different occasions. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check the description box if you're curious about my Poshmark, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.